Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ronald Couming from RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers using various Internet marketing techniques and methods. The purpose of this show is to, in the first two sections, we bring on subject matter experts to tell you basically how they achieved their level of success, how you could possibly mirror that so you can skip a few of the steps that business owners and entrepreneurs go through to get to the successful level. And also then in the third section, I give away some free tips. And today I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Instagram. So our second guest today is Lydon. Lydon, you're on the line?
Hi, Ron. How you doing?
Excellent. Leo is a CPA, and Leo, tell us about yourself. You're a CPA extraordinaire, radio show host. You help people not only make money, but you help people save money, and you also help people with retirement plans and other things like that, right?
That's it. That's it, Ron. Yep, I'm a CPA investment advisor. I manage portfolios. I do a lot of tax work, accounting work. And, yeah, like you, I'm a radio host. Can you imagine, huh?
I can. I've known you since like 2004 or so, right?
Yeah, we go way back.
Yep. So, but now you've been a radio show host for like 15 years, am I correct?
Yeah, I started back in 99.
90,
so, yeah, it's been a long time.
Leo, I went to school in Boston, and that's more than 14 years. I think that's like 18.
Yeah, it's a long time. Longer than I care to admit I am old.
Yeah. Leo, I thought you told me you were 29, brother.
I started when I was 10.
Excellent. Yeah, you've been around a long time, and your story is unique, too. I mean, you don't tell it that often. It does come up once in a while on your show, but you were with a company. Things didn't work out. You went out on your own. You started on your own, and it was, just like any other entrepreneur. You never knowing, what was going to happen, the success level, but you believed in yourself. You believed in what you wanted to do, and now, when I talk to you, sometimes you say, Ron, I got to let you go, brother. I'm getting on the boat. You're going out for boat rides.
Well,
in the middle of the week.
It's not a bad thing.
No.
If I could give some entrepreneurs tips, the key is this. Most of my clients are entrepreneurial in nature. And as you can tell, you're doing AM radio, so you tend to have a higher intellect listenership with AM radio. And I get a lot of MIT, Harvard followers because I do a lot of technical analysis on stock charts and things of that nature, as well as the whole financial picture. But if you're an entrepreneur, you probably have that entrepreneurial quirk, and the best thing is you get to embrace it. I call it chronic nerd syndrome. Many of us were nerds. Okay, maybe you fit in high school and elementary school. Maybe you didn't, but maybe you were always a little quirky. You wanted to do it your way, not someone else's way. Well, now's the time to get paid for all that awkwardness.
Yep.
And that's what it comes down to. All the successful entrepreneurs I know, and I do well over 500 tax returns, and I would say the majority of them are entrepreneurial. We all have that little quirk, so you've got to embrace it. But the one thing you have to do is you have to... Personally, I like the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think that's an amazing book. I've read all the ones Swim with the Sharks, and all those are tricks, okay? Get the original version of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it's not a trick book. Okay, it's just teaching you how to think and how to open up. That's it. It's just telling you to be the best person you can be, put that out there. And when you feel that you can be totally trusted, then you have to trust others. I think there's a big piece a lot of people get stuck. And if you're stuck in independence, you're not going to make it. You have to get to the point of maturity where it's interdependence. Just because you want to do it your way, you still have to depend on other people, and that's the most humbling part, I think, when you start your business. Because when you start out, you've got to be every department. Okay, you've got to be the marketer, you've got to be this, you've got to be that. Once you can embrace that everyone is brilliant at what they do, or they wouldn't be around you, right? That's my opinion. And I just totally embrace that everyone's good at what they do. And that's why, Ron, you're working on my web stuff. And because you're really good at what you do, and I know I frustrate you because Ron says, what do you want this to say? What do you want this to say? I say, Ron, I don't know. You're better at it than I am. Right? But once you can do that, guys, the one thing that's going to tick people off that's our entrepreneurial quirk is no is not an answer.
Exactly.
It's how can we.
Exactly.
Okay. So no is never an answer. It just leads to how can we.
Yep.
Because when you're an entrepreneur, the phone system goes down. If you don't find a way to get it fixed, it doesn't come back up. Right? So if you call the phone company, no, it's not on our end. Okay, then how do we find out what ends it on? And so that's that little bit of quirk that gets us in trouble in social life, but it's a must-have in business life. And so really, if you're listening and you have that little quirk, a little quirk to you, chances are good you're going to be more successful than the guy who's smooth. And at least that's what I found. So I hope that's a little bit of advice for you.
I love it, Leo, and that ties into, a lot of things I tell my clients is stay in your genius zone. Focus on the 1, 2, or 3 things that you're best at, and then delegate the rest. When you delegate stuff, you have to learn it and do it so you're not being taken advantage of. So you have to have kind of like an understanding, but you don't need to be an expert in that field. And I also tell my clients no minimum wage activities. Now, what I mean by that is that anything that you can delegate, that you can pay somebody else anywhere from $8 to $20 an hour, you need to delegate that out, and you need to focus on your big ticket items, because that's what you're in business for. You need to stay in your IP, and that's your intellectual property, and you need to stay in your genius zone. So when you were saying that, man, I was you can't see me, but I'm actually standing up, and so you got me going, Leo. And I believe Stephen Covey wrote that book you were talking about, correct?
He did. It's amazing. It's an amazing book, and he did a whole bunch of them, but that's the base of everything. And I'll tell you, because everyone gets in their funks. We all do. There are all different phases of the business, and sometimes your capacity, especially if you're a seasonal business, you hit this burnout stage, right? So you crank, you're doing 12, 15-hour days or whatever they are, and then all of a sudden, business slows down. You've got to give yourself that mental break. So then your brain's going to kind of shut down, and you're going to go into cruise control.
Yep. Is it?
And then you got to allow yourself to do that little bit of cruise control, and then you come back out, and you come back out strong and sharp. And it's hard. I mean, it's emotionally difficult. And like you said with the groups, it is important, because if you're an entrepreneur who spends a lot of time at home, it can be lonely. I don't mean to be a mush, but it can be lonely.
Yep.
And so what I've been able to do, fortunately, my clients become my friends. And because most of the clients already know me from doing the radio, they usually hear me on the radio and then become a client. So I have a great circle of, I guess you'd say circle of influence before I even meet the client. So I'm not really doing sales. I'm not really closing the deal when I meet them. I more just meet them, and then they end up saying, geez, you're just like I thought you'd be. And so they become clients, and that's how it all starts. But being in financial services, I call it a drop-the-pants industry. Within 5 minutes, I'm asking you, okay, so how much do you make? How's the marriage? You need tucky money? What are we doing? Right? So within 5 minutes, we're already deep in the conversation. So it's easy to become friends who are clients, but so it doesn't transfer to all different industries. But in financial services, it's really neat. It's really neat. You just got to embrace it and go.
Yeah, and I can attest. I've been on this show for quite a while now, well over a year, and according to statistics, we have 1.5 million listeners, and any 15-minute span over 44,000. But I know Leo personally, and that's exactly how I met him, 11:20 a.m. He has a show 8 to 9 a.m. in the morning, and he talks primarily on that show about stocks and stuff going on in the stock world, but he also periodically, especially in November and all the way through April, it will come up about different tax options and how to put money away and save money for college for your kids, and how does this work and how does that doesn't work. So when I spoke to him, as he's talking about, I already knew, I felt I knew him. So when I called him, and to me that goes back to like one of the things I tell my clients, Leo, it's about attraction marketing opposed to chasing. Mm-hmm. So people learn about you. That's why I give away, like the third part, I'll give away free stuff. I do videos, I do Facebook Lives, and I give away free stuff. So by the time people call me, they already know I know what I'm doing. So the question is, how can I work with you opposed to, what do you do, who you are, So yeah. I like your attraction marketing ideas. Can you tell us, you have several services, and I love the advice you gave us. And listeners, I want to let you know that this episode is archived on my website, rcstechnologysolutions.com. Go to the media tab, go to radio show. It will be up in a couple of days. It's also archived on this radio station, WCAP 980 AM's website, which I also did for them. But so if you these are gems, both this guest and my first guest today. So go back and listen to them. And if you're driving and you didn't have a chance to write down their websites or phone numbers, you just go back and listen. The information's there, and you can always call me 978-606-5432, and I'll forward you the information as well. Leo, you have a myriad of services, and it really helps entrepreneurs to know the difference between a C Corp and S Corp and how they can save and what they can and can't do. And a lot of that stuff you might not be able to go into. But can you tell the listeners some of the things that you do, so when we go offline, they can possibly pick up the phone and call you or go to your website and contact you through that?
Sure. I think a lot of financial planning, portfolio management, business planning, tax planning, they all come back to the family. Everything is family. And if you think about the goal of a small business, what is it really? To give my family as much wealth as quickly as possible. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So whether the wealth is in the form of the business, in the form of assets under retirement plans or things of that nature, being a CPA and investment advisor enables me to control all of those things for you. So basically, I start with, like we're talking now, young entrepreneurs. Then the entrepreneurs become more mature, and now they have employment issues. I can help them with the employment issues. Okay, you want to start off with an individual 401k plan? Perfect. That's probably the best retirement savings vehicle you can have. So we'll set you up with an individual 401k. If you want help managing it, I'm here for that as well. Then as the business gets more mature, you pick up employees. You got employment issues, employee tax return, employment returns, things of that nature. Then the business matures further, and now you start talking about succession planning and how do you pass the business on to your children in the most tax-effective way. In the meantime, they will have already gone to college, one would think, so we would have done college planning. And we can even have some tricks and techniques where if you own the business, you may even qualify for financial aid just by leaving some. Let's just say we can help with financial aid if you have a business. We can help navigate the application, let's say. So yeah, there are tricks we can do to help in the college planning, but also in the college financial aid realm. We do the retirement planning, the succession planning. We can help work with workout plans. I do a lot of IRS work, so if you happen to get audited along the way, I can certainly represent you through that. So yeah, it's pretty much the whole gamut. Basically, I like to say that I'm bringing your family's finances into focus, and that's really what financial focus is all about.
Nice, and you do a great job. Now, if somebody is, before they even start a company, before they even start the family planning, I would think the best thing to do would be to sit down with somebody and create a roadmap. So somebody should, if they're in it already, they can learn how to maximize it, save and maximize it and things like that. But if they're going in that direction, they could also pick up the phone or set up a strategy session with you too to avoid some pitfalls. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Do you want to be a single member LLC or do you want to be a multi-member LLC? Well, there's advantages to both. If you're married, well, if you own 90%, your spouse owns 10%. That makes it a multi-member LLC, and now you file your own tax return. Well, why do you want to do that? Well, little less transparency, so to say. So there's certain things that you may want to do depending on the type of business. Do you want it to be a little bit? You want full transparency as to who the owner is, or do you want a little bit of a cloud around that, so to say? There's different reasons for doing different things. There's different rules for different industries, what you can be and what you can't be. So, planning at the beginning will solve a lot of problems down the road.
Yeah, and save a lot of headaches, because you don't make mistakes. And when you make a mistake and you're playing on a certain level, that can come back to bite you in the butt, especially like with the whole thing with employees and contractual employees and what is the difference and all that stuff. So definitely, sit down with Leo and figure out what you're going to do before you do it. And if you're already in it or you've just started, contact him too. Leo, can you give everybody your contact info, please? Sure.
Just give me a call at 781-829-8626. That's 781-829-8626. Or you can just reach out with email, leo@stocksandtaxes.com. That's stocksandtaxes.com. And if you go, you'll see the website. It's got a couple things that still need some text. But boy, the website's looking great. So much better than the one I had before, Ron. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much, Leo. And yes, the front page needs some text, and then that will link to other pages which needs text as well. But at least we got them up live, and the overall general sense is there. Now I got you on the spot, Leo. When can we get some of that text, brother?
When? I know this is so hard. Okay, so guys, this is real life. What I've been talking about. Okay, my weakness in the business is talking about myself. Okay, self-marketing. I'm terrible at it. I hate it. So I've got to do it, but I've been postponing doing it. So So we're living real life. What I was talking about in the first few minutes of the interview is you've got to be good. You've got to be able to do everything and sub out what you can as much as you can. But yeah, when it comes to writing the actual text, I'm gonna have to do that, Ron. I think I have a boat appointment this evening, so I think it'll have to be. I'll work on it tomorrow after a board of directors meeting. How's that?
Excellent. And tomorrow's going to be rainy, so I won't be working from the beach either. So
there you go. So you'll be there to catch it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
There'll be a lot of productivity. But also, I mean, call me and we can just do like Zoom and we can do a webinar and just work on it together. I'm always there for you, just like you've always been there for me, and I'm sure it's that way with your other customers and clients too. Leo's a great guy, and I've known him for, we're going 13, 14, 15 years. So,
Yep.
I highly recommend him on anything you need to know before, during, and even if you're thinking about moving on and you need to have some secession within your business. Leo, we're coming to the end. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the listeners before we part?
Yeah, just remember that interdependence, guys. You just saw it happen right here. If you're going to be successful, whether it's entrepreneurial or in anything, you have to be confident in what you do, but also be confident in what other people can do. You put them together. Only then can 1 and 1 equal 3.
I love it. Learn it, do it, delegate it, stay focused on your genius zone. That's what I tell all my clients, Leo, and it's great to have it reinforced by people who are successful in going out on boat rides, a couple days during the week, and when most people are going to be sitting in traffic, cursing the job they hate. You know what I mean?
That's right. But remember, you can work when you work for yourself. You can work any 12 hours of the day you want.
Exactly. So. and if you have an internet connection, depending on the type of business, from anywhere you want as well.
That's right.
Leo,
that's right.
It's always you've been a great guest, and Leo Lydon. One more time, can you give him your website and contact info?
Sure. It's my phone's 781-829-8626. Website is stocksandtaxes.com. Leo@stocksandtaxes.com.
Excellent. And you've been listening to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of both RCS Online Solutions and RCS Technology Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting converting and retaining their ideal customers and clients using various internet marketing techniques and methods.